Students, welcome back to social science class, and this is fourth chapter of geography, gender and politics, the topic you were reading. So I taught you about feminist movement, I taught you about sexual division of labor. So in detail we will look for the topic, that is feminist movement. So move from the next paragraph, that is the result of this division of labor is that all the women constitute half of the humanity. Their role in public life, especially politics, is minimal in most societies. Earlier, only men were allowed to participate in public affairs, vote and contest for public offices. Gradually, the gender issue was raised in politics. Women in different parts of the world organized and agitated for equal rights. You learn too many chapters in history that earlier women did not have that voting rights. So after organization, after different kinds of organizations engaged in the movement of feminist, and they agitated for equal rights of women too. So the women also got that political right. There were agitations in different countries for the extension of voting rights to women. These agitations demanded enhancing the political and legal status of women and improving their educational and career opportunities. More radical women's movements aimed at equality in personal and family life as well. These movements are called feminist movement. So it is clear what were feminist movement. Actually, what is feminist? What is the theory of feminist? A women or a men, whether it is women or a men who believe in equal rights and equal opportunity for men as well as women, are considered feminist. So through this these kind of movement, women also get political rights. Nowadays, you will be very happy to know that in Lok Sabha elections were also about welfare of women. Indian politics is revived during these elections in the wake of the gradual increase in women's turnout in state assembly elections over the past few years and the closing of the gender gap in turnout. So political expression of gender division and political mobilization on this question help to improve women's role in public life, because nowadays women are doing their level best. So basically gender inequality is relationship has been growing over the year, but for the majority of relationship the power lies with the male. However, some women choose to work and also fulfill a perceived gender role in clearing the house and caring for children. Women are considered the primary caregiver in family life, even if they work full-time job. So this is the thinking of the society. We now find women working as scientists, doctors, engineers, lawyers, managers, and college and university teachers, which were earlier not considered suitable for women in some part of the world. For example, in Scandinavian countries such as Sweden, Norway, and Finland, the participation of women in public life is very high. In our country, women still lag much behind men despite some improvements since independence. Our is still a male-dominated patriarchal society. Women face disadvantage, discrimination, and oppression in various ways. So this is the another aspect of our society. So we will discuss about it later. Before discussing next part, we have to see this picture study. In this figure, perceptions of ideal women are given. Here two women are sitting together. To the TV serial maker, the ideal viewer means women are supposed to watch serials, films and other shows, and it is considered that they are ideal viewer. In the other picture, to the fashion industry, that belong to the fashion industry, and it is said that the women is a ideal model of beauty. In the next one, to the society, women is ideal housewife. And in the next picture, to the prospective in-laws, the ideal bride. It means the women considered an ideal bride too. To the employer and male employees, the ideal employee. So in this way, you can see this picture speaks enough about women, about women's role, कि how women is proving herself as a super women. Understood? So it is a picture study, and I discussed all the perceptions of an ideal woman, and look it deeply, and ask any question, ask any doubt if you have on my personal phone number. So actually some aspects are in there in our day-to-day life in which women are discriminated against in India. So I have taken few, like first I have taken literacy rate, second sex ratio, third unpaid work, fourth domestic violence, fifth female feticide. So these are very common aspects that we see in our day-to-day life, in our society, in which women are discriminated against in the society, like literacy rate, sex ratio, unpaid work, domestic violence, female feticide. They are very common aspects of discrimination. If we take literacy rate, we see that in our society, most of the female are uneducated. They are not sent to the school for higher education. Even the ratio of education among women is less than male. So when we compare the ratio of between male and female, we see that the ratio of education among female is 66%, while in male it is 82%, according to census of 2011. Data can be different in your book. So what is written in your textbook, you can go through that. So actually parents prefer education, expanding their resources of education of a male child rather than a female child, because it is a concept of our society that girls are not made for education.